Hey, how you doing? It's so nice to see you. I'm so glad you could join me today on YouTube. My name is Deshawn and you're watching Distinctively Deshawn. Today's an impromptu cook with me and I invite you to come along. So welcome to my home. In today's video, cook with me and kitchen talk. Allergy alert. I feel like I gotta keep giving that disclaimer because all the constant. So it's this old meal that I used to make years ago when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter. I used to stay in a shelter for pregnant girls, and we used to have to take turns cooking dinner at least one day a week for the entire household, the residents as well as the staff. And I found this recipe called scallop potatoes and sausage. And it's like a casserole, and you layer it like you would do lasagna, but it's sausage and it's potatoes. So listen, that's again one of the first things that I learned how to cook. And my kids loved it. Like, they truly enjoyed this meal, and I haven't had it in some time, and I just had a taste for it tonight. By the way, this is an impromptu video. This is not what I had in mind for now. Stick around, find out what this recipe is all about, and even try it. I know one of my good girlfriends tried it. She said she loved it. Her family loved it. Again, it's a simple recipe. It's a casserole. So I'm going to go ahead and finish doing these potatoes, and I'll see y'all in a few minutes. When I was washing my potatoes, I was like, you know what? Let me give y'all, for those of you that don't know me, a little backdrop of my story while we cook together. I write poetry, and I have a poem called A Young Girl's Story that talks a little bit about some of the experiences that I had in life, and I'm going to try to remember some of the words to share with y'all. A young girl's story. I'm gonna take you on a journey. Let me take you on a journey. I'm gonna take you on a journey. She was 15 years old when she took the wrong road, suddenly riding down a one-way street of bad decisions and bondage, a path of strongholds. With no inclination she was headed in the wrong direction, she proceeded to go forward using little to no discretion. It all started one hot summer day when a fine young boy came walking her way. She was impressed. She found him attractive. Couldn't tell her nothing, because in her eyes, he was the total package. They hooked up, hung out, would talk on the phone, would visit each other and spend time alone, made plans to get together when no one was home, sat around and talked trash like they was grown, until she was introduced to a world she had never known. One day he asked, "So, do you want to ride the horse?" Her response, "Of course, bareback or with a saddle." Little did he know she had never even straddled the opposite sex. However, captivated by what he said, before she knew it, she was lying in bed with him. Not just once, but again and again. Now involved in sexual intercourse, she had no idea that Satan was the source of this activity. 15 years old, stripped of her clothes and her virginity, because she was never taught to wait. So when temptation arose, she didn't know how to escape. Deceived by the enemy, she was robbed of her jewel, while he laughed in her face and called her a fool. Poor tainted young girl, once lively and zealous, enticed by the devil, now wounded and rebellious. I'm gonna take you on a journey. Now 16 years old, she thought he was sweet. No, not the previous fella she met on the street. This is someone she hooked up with at the home of a guy named David. By this time, she wasn't thinking about saving it. She figured she was already spoiled, no sense of waiting until marriage. So when he asked her to give it up, she said, here you go, sure, you can have it. This connection, on the other hand, wasn't just a fling. Blinded by the excitement of this new experience, she didn't quite yet feel the sting of the turmoil this relationship would bring. See, in the beginning, everything was peaches and cream. But she soon found out that people and things aren't always what they seem. Bound and held captive by low self-esteem, lost, immature, and blinded by a love dream, she stayed in a relationship, walking around with an outer smile and the inner scream. I'm gonna take you on a journey. He won't do it again, is what she said the first time she had to explain why he busted her upside her head. He told me he loved me. Don't you understand? Just leave us alone. Let me be with my man. As time went on, the abuse got worse, but she still wouldn't let him go. She always put him first, before her family, her friends, and especially before herself, even though she knew he was a hazard to her health. Considering all the pain, considering all the hurt, she still tried to figure out how she was going to make this relationship work. Trying to do it all by herself, outside of God, her only help. There is so much more that I could tell as I temporarily revisit this mental jail I used to live in. Now I'm going back, pulling people out of where I've been. For he taught me how to fight. He taught me how to win. For I wrestle not against flesh and blood, a gift of truth given to me by true love. I've got a story to tell. Thank you for going on my journey. That wasn't so bad, was it, y'all? But yes, I was something else, and I was in an abusive relationship as a teenager because I did have low self-esteem and just a bunch of other issues, daddy issues, just you name it. But G-O-D, God, has helped me and brought me through. And every opportunity I get, I tell people about his goodness and the great things that he has done in my life, because honestly, I do not know what I would do without him. So thank y'all for listening today. If you're still here, I probably will randomly share poems here and there, because I have so many. Like, I write a lot, and whatever I'm thinking or feeling at any given time is what I usually do. You know what? It just came to me. I'm gonna call this video Kitchen Talk. Excuse the popping and the sizzling in the background. I forgot to tell y'all I am making lemon pepper chicken for my husband and my son. So that's been cooking while I've been peeling these potatoes. So I hope that it's not interfering with you guys' ability to hear me speak to you. But yeah, kitchen talk, because that's what we're doing. We're talking in the kitchen right now, is I think what I'm going to name this impromptu video that God just put in my heart at the last minute. Speaking of God, let's talk about God, because he keep coming up on my mind today. Somebody must need to hear something about him. Let's talk about prayer. Prayer is simply doing what I'm doing right now, talking to y'all, communicating with God. Not that deep, not that hard, but I can promise you that your conversations that you have with God are some of the most important conversations that you'll ever have with anybody in your entire life, and completely detrimental. I know it is for me, because listen, he keeps me clothed in my right mind. He helps me navigate through this thing called life, because I messed it up by myself. I can't be the driver of my own vehicle in life, because I get in too many wrecks and too many accidents, and I need a designated driver, and he is my designated driver. And anybody who knows me personally They say, I can't imagine you being a certain type of way, because you know they only know and see me for how I am now. So it's like kind of hard, because that's what God do. When you give your heart to him, he make you a completely different person, a completely new person, and people look and be like, I can't picture you doing X, Y, and Z. But baby, believe it. If you knew me then, and those that are on here that do know, I was something else. True indeed. But I just want to encourage you, if you don't already have a relationship with him, or it's kind of, you know, a little shaky, a little off and on, like some of y'all natural relationships that y'all might be having with people off and on, get that thing right with God, because like I said, it's extremely important. So that has brought us through the completion of these potatoes almost. So I like to re-rinse my potatoes after I already rinsed them after cutting. So I'm going to re-rinse them, and I will be right back, Jack. If you or someone you know is dealing with domestic violence, know that there is help. Y'all, look at this yummy lemon pepper chicken wingdings I just made for my husband and my son. They are so yummy. And listen, it's the golden brown for me. And look at Old Faithful. Those of y'all that caught my last video, y'all know who Old Faithful is. This is what Old Faithful does. Thank you. I'm about to use my other Old Faithful too right here for my little casserole. Okay, good people, so I am going to cut my sausages up right now to get them ready. And I'm using a different cutting board. As you can see, I don't like to use the same cutting board for my meat that I use for. Look at Toots. Come on, Toots. She does this all the time, y'all. She likes to like be up in this kitchen. Like them dogs used to be on one of my favorite movies, The Color Purple. When Celie was in the kitchen cooking and they was on the porch at the door, keep sniff, sniff, sniffing, that's Toots. Listen, when them pies get to going, Toots, she be about that pot life, that kitchen life. She likes to have her a little taste. And she's spoiled. Yes, she is. I don't have any babies, so she is my baby. Does anybody else save them little Chinese dishes? Listen, these things, they be better than purchasing Tupperware from the store, okay? I keep the bowl and the lid. Use these things for everything. That's if you eat Chinese food. Listen, if you're enjoying this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm all about decoration, inspiration, and motivation. Come on and join the family. Tonight, I am going to be using this almond milk. Probably give it a different kind of flavor this go around. So I'm going to use 1 cup of milk. That's a little more than a cup, but that's okay. And I'm going to pour that in my saucepan. Let me make sure my saucepan is on, which it's not. How about that? And I'm going to grab my can of cream of mushroom soup. You need 1 can of soup per 1 cup of water. Let's get this open. Let me get a spoon. Pour your soup in your pan. And just let that heat up a little bit. Don't have your eye too high because you don't want this to boil over. You just want to you want the soup to kind of thin out into the milk. Are y'all messy cooks? Because I know some people are messy cooks. My husband is. And listen, I like to clean up as I go. So you want to take your potatoes. My counters are clean, guys. So I don't mind it falling. You want to get one good layer. You want to take your salt. And you want to salt your potatoes. Move it around so you can get a good cover. Take your pepper. Pepper your potatoes. I want a little bit more. Trust me, it looks like I'm using more salt than I really am, guys. Do the same thing with the pepper. And you want to take your sausage pieces. I usually cut my sausage pieces up to sausage pieces up to in half, but I didn't do that tonight. It's no big deal. Now you can add, you know, other things to this if that's what you like. You know, vegetables, cheese, whatever. I will put the cheese on like almost before it's done. I might actually do that tonight. But I'm more of a simple girl. Alright, so while you're doing this, you might discover that some of your pieces might still be like a little chunky. And you need to adjust. The good thing about that is that you can just do what you need to do to make whatever adjustments you want to make as you're going along. And as you can see, I am cutting my meat a little bit just to stretch it some. Even though it's the same amount, it's all about tricking the mind. All right, so I see that my soup is starting to get a little bit of a bubble to it. So that means it's about ready. I am going to give it a slight stir. Here comes Touch, y'all. I think she smells the soup. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me today for this impromptu chit chat. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. And you know what? Thank you to my new subscribers, y'all. Them numbers is going up, okay? Y'all are exceeding like anything that I ever thought. I just love y'all and I thank y'all for tuning in with me. If you have yet to subscribe, like, or comment on a video and you find yourself tuning in every week, come on and do your girl a favor and click that bell, click that notification button, click a button. Help out my channel in the algorithm, guys, so I can keep doing what I'm doing. So you really want your potatoes, if you can, to be your top layer, majority of your top layer. I have some sausages seeping through there, but it's all right. My last little season. Then you want to take your pot, your sauce, and you want to pour it over. That's gonna be delicious. Make sure you get a good even coat. You want to stick it in your oven on 400, uncovered, for 1 hour. So I'm going to set my timer for an hour so I don't get caught up and forget. Now y'all know I couldn't make this chicken for them without having a piece, right? Y'all know that. So with that being said, I'm a flats girl. This is my favorite part of the chicken. I don't really like the other piece too much. So I'm going to let y'all know I like my chicken crispy and fried hard with a little crunch to it. So let's see if we achieve that. Y'all hear that? By golly, I think we've got it. Y'all, Toots is right there. No lie. She is like, lady, if you don't give me a piece. She knows it's good. Toots, come. Look. I eat. She eat. And her tail is sweeping my floor right now. This is what you call good down to the bone. Down to the bone good. I hope y'all enjoyed that just as much as I just did.
So I just made some spinach and fried this chicken earlier. The sausage and potatoes are still going in the oven, but it's nearly done. So here it is.
And we're all done. So we're going to take her out of the oven. You want to give your potatoes a good stir once it's done. I also forgot to mention that if you can, you want to stir it halfway through. It's not mandatory, but if you remember to, that's a good thing to do. The sauce will begin to thicken the more you let it stand. You know it's done when the potatoes are soft. We are going to give this a good taste. I'm like totally excited.
Not even consume that right now.
My son's stomach is not feeling well. Hot. Y'all, please try this. Please try this recipe, seriously. I make sausage and potatoes and cabbage, excuse me, on the stove top. But it's something about putting the milk in the soup in it and putting it in the oven. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but it's delicious. So if you have not tried this recipe, please try it. All right, try it. So there we have it, our sausage and potato casserole, which is absolutely delicious. We have our spinach. My son was playing with y'all earlier. He did not cook any of this, obviously, but he took the credit, which is funny. But I put minced garlic in my spinach, and then there's my crispy fried chicken. I like to eat this with ketchup. You know, it tastes good alone. It doesn't need anything, to be honest. You can leave well enough alone, but sometimes I do like to put a little ketchup on it. So Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you decide to try. By the way, somebody tried my husband's sauce from our last video, and she said it was delicious. So let me know, guys. I like to hear your feedback. Ciao.